what up, though, Adams Village? It's your girl A&P from the D. You know me, where I be. Okay, so today is July 21st. So May, June, July. So it's been exactly 2 months since our son went into a high diabetic coma. And I pretty much just want to give a little short story on what happened, because you all were asking, but I couldn't quite answer yet because we had a lot of things to think about and handle. Okay, so here's the story. May 21st, I believe was a Saturday. May 20th was Friday. So Friday, my son spent the night, May 20th, Friday, my son spent the night at his cousin's house. Friday night, I work overnight, so I was working at work. I was at work Friday night going into Saturday morning. Saturday morning, by the time I get off, we get a call saying our son is not feeling well. He was laying on his cousin's bathroom floor. So instantly my husband told them, like, bring him home. Boom. Now when my son came home, when Chunky came home, I was still sleeping from just getting off work. By the time I got up, I noticed that he never came to say anything to me. He never was walking around the house. When I did see him, he was talking, but his eyes wasn't open. I don't know. He just was, something was off. And after some time went by, I started feeling like I was going into a coma. I don't know what that was about. But the room got dark and heavy and stuff started spinning, and it was kind of like my vision was leaving. And so my son was laying in his bed, and I was trying to give him, now here's why, so let's take it a step back. Okay, so my son has a Dexcom G6, right? It's a continuous glucose monitor, so it continuously checks his blood sugar. What happened was, he changed that night. He changed the high alert, or he turned the notifications off. So that night, Friday night going into Saturday, we didn't get any notification when he was gone. So Saturday morning, they said that he crawled to the bathroom and then he was laying on the bathroom floor. Okay, so he had a blood sugar all Friday night going into Saturday morning. He get home, I try to treat him, give him some water, get him hydrated, things like that. But as I'm trying to do all of these things, I noticed that for one, he won't open his eyes, and for two, it was like he was talking to me, but he wasn't talking to me from here. He was talking to me from a far place. So I called my husband because he was at work, and he was just like, take him to the hospital right now. I'm like, okay, so I take him to the hospital right now. As we getting ready, as I'm getting our things together to leave out to go to the hospital, my son says, I can't walk. Now mind you, his eyes is not open or anything. He says, I can't walk. So this whole situation, not that it was creepy, but it was something to reckon with for sure. So I had packed up everything, and then I took him and kind of pulled him off his bed and put him on my back like this, and then I carried him out to the car, and then I put him in the car. Once I put him in the car, he kept telling me, even though his eyes are still closed, he kept telling me I can't walk, I can't do anything. And I'm like, that's okay, baby, I'm gonna get you some help. So I pull up to Children's Emergency. Boom. The valet guy come out. He say, you need something? I'm like, yeah, he need a chair because he can't walk. So the valet guy, he come out, bring the chair out, get my son out the vehicle. I get out the vehicle. I take my son in. They go park the vehicle. They take him straight to the back. I'm at the front desk giving them the information, and they had already took Chunky to the back. By the time I get to the back, because they don't even ask me what's wrong with him, what happened, or anything like that. They just, once I say Malcolm Adams Jr., type 1 diabetic, Children's Hospital knows who my baby is, and I'm so appreciative for that. But that's all we gotta say, and we go through wherever. People take care of us the best way that they can. By the time I finish giving them the information and I walk back there, they had my baby already on the bed. Although he was not conscious, he was in a coma, his subconscious still stayed with us. Like, my baby is so strong. He's so powerful. Like, it's amazing. It is amazing. It took a while. When they officially, I don't even know, from this point, I don't even know where to go because it was so much. So I get to the back. They're trying to put an IV in him. They're trying to wake him up, like bring him back to consciousness. But somewhere he was, like I say, he was gone. He was in a complete coma, but he was still communicating with us. Amazing. And it was a scary moment because he started speaking in tongues. When they gave him a COVID test, he started going crazy, like, get this shit off of me, get these IVs off of me, you done went too far. Mind you, he's still in a coma. The doctors was trying to keep him like somewhat awake, so they kept doing this trick here. And him and this one doctor was just like, if they could have had a fought, they would have fought. But she was so pinpoint on whenever he drift off, and she gave him that chest rub. He didn't like it, but it kept him with us until we were able to get him a CAT scan to make sure that everything was going on with his brain and things like that. From what the doctors say, he could have been in a coma from Friday night. He officially didn't come out of his coma until Sunday night. It was just so sad. So sad. Being a diabetic is not always easy, and it's not always hard. It's definitely a balance, but sometimes there's not always sometimes you can't control everything. You understand? This is the first time that Chunky, in the 4.5, almost 5 years, he's been a diabetic. Since the day that he was diagnosed, this is the first time he been to the hospital for his diabetes. This is the first time that he was, in DKA. This coma, I've heard of people, because my husband has went into a low coma a couple of times, and that was a very scary attack for me. But for a person to go into a high blood sugar coma, that's scary all around. And then it was my 10-year-old baby. It wasn't much. I'm making the story seem so short now and so like laid back, but it was not laid back. It was one of the most saddest things that I ever went through. Like, it was scary. It was everything. It was like we wasn't living in physical world. We wasn't here. It was like we was somewhere else battling something, and all I could do was just trust Children's Hospital, Michigan Children's Hospital, to bring my baby back. And that's exactly what they did, okay? It was amazing. It was amazing. And one thing I learned, for those people who have family members that go into a coma, people who goes into a coma, the best thing that'll help a person that's in a coma is people that they love and that love them constantly telling them over and over, I love you. My son taught me that. In his coma, he was able to name his whole family and say that he loved each and every last one of us. It scared me and his dad because we didn't know, like, if he was, like, giving his goodbyes or whatever. But he just kept repeating it over and over. I love you, Daddy. I love you, Mommy. I love all my grandma. I love my cousins, my aunties, my uncles. He started naming people names specifically and everything. He just kept saying it over and over. And we just kept telling him we love you over and over. Like, love those that love you